So I just saw the movie哪吒, which is a very bad pronunciation. Neza is how it would probably read to an American audience, or Niza or Neza. I'm sure any Chinese speaker who listens is going to make fun of my pronunciation. I tried to say it the way it reads in Chinese. It's a great cartoon, super entertaining. It's interesting because it is Chinese, so it's more interesting to me because there's different magic and monsters than I'm used to seeing. All my magic is based in European folklore, so for that reason alone, it's already going to bring something new to the table. But my favorite thing about it is how sympathetic the villains are. Setup is an interesting situation. There's this chaos pearl, and it's split into kind of in a yin-yang, a spirit side and a demon side. And the spirit side ends up in the body it's not supposed to be in, being raised by the team of more evil-leaning bad guy group, basically, which is the good side, spirit. And then the demon side ends up being raised by the family that the spirit side was supposed to end up in. So the combination means you've got some people who are your quote-unquote bad guys, more really your protagonist and antagonist characters that are growing up where they're not supposed to be. So it ends up creating very sympathetic characters. The bad guy team, and I keep saying it with that inflection because I'm doing big air quotes right now. You can't see it, but trust me, they're happening. It's because it's dragons who have essentially sacrificed their species to an internal purgatory where they live in a prison that they created to prevent demons from overrunning all mankind. So they're protecting all of the earth, and their reward for that is they live in prison now, their whole species. They're just trying to get out of that situation. There's an interesting connection between the protagonist, who you're supposed to like in spite of his faults. The message of this movie is he was born to be the ultimate evil, kind of the avatar of demon chaos, but he eventually chooses to defend humans and to defend his family and love his parents. And he avoids falling into the life that he was fated to have. He's supposed to be this sort of primordial, purified evil energy, and instead ends up trying to be good, in spite of people treating him like shit the whole time because they know that he's evil incarnate. The main bad guy villain manipulator who sets up the spirit, Imo, the spirit boy, to be on kind of the bad team, he's, you learn, like a were-jaguar. And, you know, he spent his whole life being reviled as a monster and prejudiced against because humans, he says something about humans having a mountain of prejudice. It's a good quote. He's the same exact situation. The main bad guy is motivated by the same factors that motivate the kid. He tried for hundreds of years and trained under the supreme being to be something that people could respect, and instead learns, okay, well, there's only one seat left in heaven, and it's not going to you, because he blames it on him being born inhuman. So there's sympathy for dragons. There's sympathy for the evil master monk. There's sympathy certainly for Imo, who's set up to destroy the village at one point, but he has to make the impossible choice of killing a village full of people, which is inarguably a horrific thing. But the alternative, if he doesn't do that, is that his entire species will be wiped out. All dragons everywhere will be killed. And so it's like, okay, you have to personally murder these 1,000 humans or all dragons dead for all time. And every single one of these evil groups or factions or characters has really sympathetic. The reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they've been horrifically wronged, or they're just trying to save themselves from an impossible situation. And that makes it so much more interesting than just, oh, the bad guy's bad because he's bad. Scar is bad. Can't you tell he's bad? He has a scar. Hades is bad. He lives in the underworld. Of course he's bad. All these Disney villains, they're bad just because. These guys are trying to do the right thing, and they acknowledge that some people are going to get hurt, and they hate that. They're not reveling in these horrible things that they have to do. It's just like, we're trying to save all of dragon kind. I'm trying to earn the spot that I've worked for hundreds of years to get, that prejudice has prevented me from. Now, I'm trying to save my people. Those are the motivations of the bad guys in this movie. And that's what makes it so much more fun to watch. It's always good to see characters who aren't just flat characters. These ones are good, these ones are bad. But instead see characters that are aware of everything that the audience is aware of, and they're still choosing to do something for sympathetic reasons, for reasons I could understand, were I in their totally made-up fantasy situation. So anyway, that's my favorite thing about this movie. There's interesting characters. You don't walk into it with the expectation that there's a good team and a bad team, and the good team has to win because it's a cartoon. That's it. You don't need to watch it anymore. But instead, it's like, oh wow, I'm hearing a story that's interesting because those are hard choices. So definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. I do recommend it. And you know what? You don't have to buy into all this complicated character or see something from a different culture. It's just an entertaining movie. It's funny. There's cool action. Just go see it. It's a cartoon worth seeing.